All right, guys, we're back. Treadmill Talks. In this episode, we're going to talk about the different categories of men that women have in their brains, or how they categorize men in their brains, and what that means for you in the dating market, and kind of like the difficulties and the pros and cons of each kind of category. Let me explain. Basically, the top one being the Giga Chad, the banjo homeless Giga Chad with the six-pack who gets sexual access for free. Then there's like the beta chode at the very bottom who will never get sexual access no matter what that guy does. And then that's the two extremes of that pole, right? There's everything in between. But if you like this content, hit that subscribe button, share the video. Let's talk about the women's categories for men. Okay, now I'm assuming that most guys that are watching this channel are in the middle somewhere. Like most of us are, man. Like most of us are just kind of in that middle. Now, if you're a brother, if you're a Giga Chad with a homeless banjo and a six-pack, and you have a roster of 20 chicks, you ain't watching this content, that's for sure. You don't need to, right? So I'm assuming everyone's kind of in the middle. So let's go from bottom to top then. So women, and this is, okay, first impressions are way more important than people give credit for. First and second impressions, I want to say. Like how you imprint your impression on a girl on the first go. It can be mitigated over time, don't get me wrong. But sometimes they don't give you the time to do that, right? So you want to come off at least in the middle, or at least you want to come off to where she can't categorize you just yet. That's a good place to be in. But if you're like a nervous beta chode, you're done. That's it. But let's go from the bottom. So the beta chode, the incel, the fat guy that hates women, the neckbeards, the Dungeons and Dragons bros, like, you know, we're talking like the bottom feeders here, right? First of all, I want to say there's no reason for you to be down there. That's a choice, by the way. It's 100% a choice. It's not involuntarily celibate. You are volunteering to be down there. On no planet should you be unshowered, ungymmed, unkempt. Should like personality, sure, you can kind of work on that, you know. Some guys are kind of weirdos, but in terms of your physical appearance, you should never be at the bottom. That's a choice, okay? Now, when a woman categorizes you as that level, like the beta chode, the gross guy, the ick, whatever you want to call it, as soon as she feels that about you, there will be nothing you can do to change her opinion in the future and going forward. The imprint is there. It's interesting because actually this goes for guys too, where you will always see the fat guy as the fat guy. Like we all kind of do this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can probably relate to this, where like one of your buddies or one of these people that you know, they lose a bunch of weight, they get in shape, they get fit or whatever, but your brain will never see them as like the gym bro. He will always be that fat guy. Do you know what I'm saying? Now the reverse is not true. If they are like the jacked guy, they can definitely become the fat neckbeard guy, right? I'm sure you've experienced this. So when they categorize you in that bottom tier, it's actually very, societally speaking, it's actually very important to kind of jump social groups every time you evolve or change. It's kind of a shitty byproduct of evolution as a man. Every time you get better and evolve, your friend group that knew you from before will treat you the same way as before. Like, let's say you were the fat funny guy, and that's just who you were back then. And then now you're still funny, but now you're just like super attractive and you hit the gym and you don't eat donuts when you guys go out to the coffee shop anymore. You don't eat sugar, that kind of stuff, right? Go try and do that with your old friends group. They'll like shame the shit out of you for not eating donuts instead of being proud of you and supporting you, because they've already categorized you in their head. So you get to this point eventually where it's like, I gotta switch new friend groups. But then every time you have to do that, right, it's like it resets your baseline. So the new friends group or the new women that you meet every time you level up, they only know you as that level, not the previous ones. So it's kind of like you get to start fresh every time. And you get to evolve your personality over time as you level up in these categories. You know what I'm saying? It's just a shitty byproduct of this whole status, social hierarchy type thing that we're talking about, right? So, anyway, that's why I said, as soon as a woman categorizes you in that bottom, that's it. Because she's the same as your other friends. She will you can't, just move on. It's not gonna happen, right? How do you know if she categorized you in that category? Well, she's just not into you. Like, she doesn't reply to your texts. She doesn't go out on dates with you. She doesn't talk to you. When you say hi to her, she gives you one-word answers in reply. Like, there's nothing there, man. It's like she's categorized you as that. Now, I know I focused on visual appearance a little bit too much just now, but she can also categorize you there based on your social, your personality, the way you look, your skin color, your height, like lots of things, man. Lots of things. Every woman has a different preference of what they're attracted to. So like, you might have a vision in your head of what the Giga Chad looks like, but like, the Giga Chad to one girl might be like Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime, like 300 pounds of pure muscle. Another girl, it could be like a metrosexual, long-haired, black fingernail guy. And another guy, it might just be like a normal dude that's really funny. But they're all Giga Chads up at that level. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't focus too much on the appearance and the looks and the money status and all that shit. It's different for everybody, right? But in the context of that specific woman, or any specific woman, if she categorizes you at the bottom, you're done. So hopefully we've gotten that out of the way. You're done. It's over. Just your dreams of being with that girl, it's over, okay? You need to start fresh with a new circle, new women, as you level up, okay? So then we're gonna start climbing up this like little categorization ladder, okay? The next one up would be like the orbiter or the beta orbiter. These guys are like, they will never get genuine desire from the girl, but they are good enough, maybe I should say they are not embarrassing enough to be seen out in public with to get free dinners. and free trips and like free shit. So like they're not, they might be like 5 out of 10s on the looks scale. Something where it's not like, holy shit, that guy's an ogre kind of thing, right? But he can also just buy her free shit. And she's literally using him for free shit. And she's not gonna tell him. Nobody's gonna tell him. He's just gonna keep doing it. And she's just gonna keep receiving the gifts. Now, very high class women, not high class, high end women, they've got dozens of these guys. Dozens. Dude, the beta orbiter, the orbiters are out of control. The beta orbiter is like the simp economy, if you will. These are the guys that haven't like accepted defeat, if you will, like the incels. These guys are like, they still have hope, but they're so unaware of their own positioning in the hierarchy that they think money will solve their problems. So they just shower women with money and they get taken advantage of, right? That's like the next level up. Now, the thing about the orbiter, these guys are the ones that women will marry when they're 35 plus, 40 plus. When it's time to settle down. Because that's why they keep so... Why do you think... Isn't that a good backup plan? Put yourself in the woman's shoes, right? If you were a woman and you had like 20 to 30 guys buying you shit. Now, this isn't to every woman. Don't get me wrong. We're only talking like the top echelon of women, okay? Most women don't have this. Like, contrary to what the red pill folk tell ya, most girls don't have 50 dudes sliding into her DMs. They got a few, they got a couple, but it's not like 50 orbiters, okay? But if you were a chick and you got 50 orbiters, that's a good safety net to keep around, isn't it? You're aware and you're conscious of your aging body and your mortality. And you're like, I would like to have a family one day. And where do you think the whole settling down thing came from? Settling down was a term, it's like for women to settle for a man that's below her, to like have a boring life with. It's almost like they've accepted when they settle for you. It's like, we're gonna have the boring life now. That's why the sex is always so terrible. They don't even try, right? You're the boring guy, you're the settle. You know what I'm saying? So, again, good safety net. So if you were a girl, you try to land these top chads as much as you can until time is up. And then when time is up, you got that safety net of the chode, right? So, we're gonna move up a little. So don't be that guy, obviously. How do you tell if you're that guy? A girl seems to be interested, and she seems like she's giving mixed signals. First of all, if a girl gives mixed signals, you're out. That's it. That means you're not in the top half, right? That means you're in the bottom half. She gives mixed signals, hot and cold, and whenever you invite her out, it has to involve you paying for something. That's how you know. If she won't come out for a walk, but she will come out for a dinner, sorry man, you're in the beta chode category. You're her backup plan. You don't want to be that. Please, please, please have some respect for yourself. You don't want to be that guy. Now, the next one up, I want to say, trust me, and I speak from being all of these guys, except maybe the full bottom. I was never really like a neck beard type of dude. I've been most things, let's put it that way. So the next one up is like the guy who's like, how do I describe this? He's like a good guy to date, or he's good relationship material on pay. He's like the nice guy. That's how I would put yeah, there you go. He's the nice guy. The next guy up. He's like, takes care of himself, good job, not particularly unattractive, like a 6 out of 10 or whatever for her, right? He's not really fun, but he's also not really boring. This guy is like a bot. Kind of put it, he's like a nice guy bot, right? And he will kind of not do what she says, but he'll supplicate to her to a certain degree. Happy wife, happy life. He's like the conditioned blue pillar. It's like the next one up. And these ones are the ones where they're like, I love you like a brother. You'll make another girl happy one day, because they know that you're like a good guy, and on paper you tick all the boxes, but there's just no sexual chemistry there, right? You're like the primo backup plan. And she actually will go out for walks with you, and she will hang out with you with things that don't involve money. In fact, what's a signal here is they will actually insist that they pay for themselves, so that because they don't want to give you the illusion that they owe you anything. That's what this tier is. So if they're like, no, I'll pay for myself, I got this one, don't worry. So it's like, so you are the nice, bored guy. So when they hang out with you, they will, but it's literally because they got nothing else to do. That's what that is. Like, women are bored, dude. Like, women are super bored. And there's still value in hanging out with you, because women have this stupid twisted idea that the more guys they hang out with, it does validate them to a certain degree. She kind of knows that you're there to hang out with her because you like her, but she also has no attraction for you. But she likes to know that you will take her out, though, because you do. It's an ego reinforcement, right? So that's kind of the next level. This one, I would say, you can change your perception over time. This is the bare minimum, though. Her enjoying she doesn't enjoy your company. She does. She enjoys your company enough to hang out with you without a monetary incentive. Put it that way. Like, she'll go for a walk with you, right? But she just doesn't feel any spark towards you. Now, this one, you can finagle your way in over the long term, like a year or two. Oh man, it's like, I think this is what most guys try to do, right? They try to like prove that they're worth it. That's not really how you do it. What you do, if you're in this zone, what you do is first of all, the only way to get a girl, when you're in that zone, the only way to get that woman attracted to you is through jealousy. She needs to see you with other women, and she needs to see you having fun with other women in front of her. Then she will be like FOMO and jealousy, right? That's the only way. And in order to do that, you need to keep leveling up. You can't just be like, I'm gonna be friends with her for 2 years and stay the same. Well, no, you're still the same guy. You need to display. You need to almost, your goal in this bracket over time is to make her second guess her first opinion. And this is the first level where you can do that. Anything below this level, you can't, right? Because so the way human investment works, when a woman travels or goes out with you to go for a walk, that's actually her investing a little bit more than normal. This is all subconscious, by the way. So like when she pays for herself, you just say, yeah, oh, awesome, yeah, pay for yourself kind of thing, right? She pays for herself. On some level, she's like, I traveled to meet this guy. I went for a walk with him. Then I paid for myself. She invested her time and money into that friendship. So on some level, she does value it, right? Not sexually, but she values the friendship, right? Now, over time, she could be like, was I wrong about this guy? But the only way you can do that is through social proof with other women, okay? It's the only way. So, that is not an optimal way. That should be passive. If you're the guy in this scenario, that should be a passive circumstance of what you're doing. So you're dating women as you level up, changing social circles as you level up. Then you meet a girl that, this is like, not the friend zone. Yeah, kind of the friend zone. She kind of friend zones you a little bit, right? But she still enjoys you're like a good friend to her, right? There's no spark. That's all it is. Your goal, okay, you have to like reverse categorize. You're like, okay, so this girl classified me as a friend to her. I'm not gonna invest in her, but I'll hang out with her in social settings. And you just keep going. You keep dating other women and you keep leveling up. And then 2 years will go by, and then it'll be like, oh shit. Then she'll like the whole did I judge him wrong thing is not something that you actively do to make her feel that way. It's something that happens over time as a byproduct of you leveling up, okay? So don't worry about that one. That's not your goal. Your goal isn't to change her mind in 2 years. Brother, you wasted 2 years on one girl. Like, let's fucking wake up here, right? Okay, don't do that shit. And a lot of guys, have you noticed that like all the things I've described so far, a lot of guys get stuck in those paradigms and never level up. They never change, right? Damn, it's already been 23 minutes. Okay, the last two we'll finish up quickly here. The next one is like, you're a 7 out of 10 on everything, or like an 8 out of 10 on everything. You know how to escalate physically. You know how to build attraction. You know all that kind of stuff. You're just like you're what they consider like the guy that gets girls. That's the next one. You're the guy that's able to get what he wants kind of thing, right? This is kind of where I've been categorized most of my life. Not so much like the Giga Chad, I want to have a one night stand every single night with. He's useless. More like this guy kind of ticks all the boxes and he's attractive. And there's a lot of things to play. Well, maybe we'll save that for another video on, there's like subcategories in that category. It's kind of funny. But, that's the category where you kind of have your pick of the litter. Like if you want to get laid, you just go to a 3 or a 4 and it's not a problem. If you go to an 8, 9, or 10, you still kind of have to work hard at it, and chess piece, social proof with other women. You have to initiate jealousy and FOMO, and you still have to play the game, is what I'm saying, at the higher end. But if you ever do want to get laid, just go grab a cute 5 or 6 and you're good, kind of thing, right? You don't really have to put an effort with that level. So you're blessed in the regard that you're not like needy and thirsty all the time, because you can just grab 5s and 6s. But you're also like, God damn it, I gotta play the damn game and work on these 9s and 10s, and it's kind of exhausting. And then you get to the point where I'm at, where it's like, I just wanna work on my business and not deal with any of this shit, right? You know what I'm saying? We'll save that for the next video. The 7 out of, we'll call it the 7 out of 10 guy. That'll be the next video, okay? Because there's too much to cover in that one. I'm assuming a lot of guys that watch this are in that category too. Now the next one, the 10 out of 10 guy, this is like the Brazilian 6-foot tall dude with sleeved tattoos, completely ripped. He is male model. He walks down the street and girls turn their heads at him. That's that level, okay? And these guys don't have any problems. Actually, you know what? These guys, their biggest problem is they actually get so much validation from women that they kind of lose touch with reality a little bit. So a lot of these guys are just like super broke because they never learned how to build wealth or make money or any of that shit, right? But again, if you're on that level, you're not really watching this channel, right? But those guys do exist. They're like the bulls, right? They literally have their phones being blown up 24/7 for girls wanting to come over. Girls will literally schedule in sex slots with these guys. I've seen this shit. It's real. It's real. And these guys don't have enough willpower to bang all these girls, dude. It's insane. Because from their perspective, it's like they might only have this one chance to bang a guy as attractive as this guy. So they're just like, okay, slotting in a time slot with them. Now, actually, well, that leads to the, how much do you have to pay in order to get with that girl? That Brazilian sleeve guy, he doesn't have to pay anything. In fact, they're paying him with their time. He's like this guy that just lays on the bed and they're the ones driving to his house constantly. He doesn't have to do anything. So he gets all that sexual access for zero, right? No effort, doesn't have to do anything. He can get any of the girls he wants, that kind of shit, right? Now that doesn't mean that a girl will want to marry that guy. That's not the same thing, because they know objectively on paper he's pretty useless. He's like the homeless banjo player, right? He's like the guy that they categorize as like the one night stand fun guy, right? It's interesting, man. When you're the one night stand fun guy, women treat you very differently. We'll have to save that for another video. It's already almost 30 minutes. But as I was to summarize all this, as you move down the ladder, right, of categorization, you have to do more for her in order for her to come out with you. So if you're the 7 out of 10 guy, you have to like be funny. Like, do you know what I'm saying? You have to offer good vibes. You have to offer good company. You have to offer laughter. I never lead with money. I only lead with laughter. You have to offer with good experiences, like going to a market and playing some games. Like, you need to really like make the girl feel good emotions around you. That's how I approach it, right? Other guys will lead with money. Other guys will lead with trips and shit and like dinners, and you gotta do more. You gotta do more, right? Other guys will offer services like, hey, I'll fix your car for you. I'll paint your house for you. I'll fix your toilet for you. So when your attraction is like one level down, you have to like supplement that attraction with some kind of other value add, which I personally hate. You don't have to. That's again, if that's only if you're going for the 8s, 9s, and 10s. If you go for like a 6 or a 7, you don't need the value add. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a 7, you go for a 6 or a 7. You guys are just like chill. She still has genuine desire towards you, and she doesn't need that extra value add because you're still quite an attractive looking dude. You're not the Brazilian Giga Chad, but you're like, she's proud to have you on her arm walking down the street, right? So she doesn't need the dinners and all that shit. If you try and go for a 10, she needs the Brazilian dude. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Damn, I can't believe it's been 31 minutes. Hit the subscribe button. In the next one, we'll talk about the 7 out of 10 guy, okay? Because I didn't think this would take this long. But again, subscribe, comment down below if you like this content, you want me to make more, and I'll see you in the next one, boys.